All right. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. We need to feel the love, get some energy going in here. Okay, so I'm going to tell a little story about Q when we first met, but I had to write down some notes just so I could remember like all of the accolades. Now, I'm not going to go through everything. If you guys want to, you can certainly Google him, but I think we all know who we're here to see. So Q Parker has gold, platinum, and multi-platinum albums. He's won a Grammy. He's won an MTV Video Music Award. He's won 6 ASCAP awards. He's worked with all kinds of artists: Puff, Biggie, Keisha Cole, Pink, Faith Evans, New Edition, Tyrese, Mace, Mario Winans, many others. He has 975 million streams on Pandora. And he is a father, husband, and philanthropist. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and give a very warm welcome to Q Parker.
How's everybody doing? Good.
Trying to get them warmed up, man. They were like acting all like reserved and stuff.
Girl, if I told you I love you, say. Nah, that ain't the way the song goes, right? But it's all right. I just wanted to warm y'all up. How y'all feeling tonight? Man, this room is amazing, Doc. Wow.
It's great, man. Like, hey, look, people are here for you, man. Like, you made this happen. You brought these people together, all right?
Blessings on blessings, man.
Yes. So, okay, people know about you. I briefly mentioned your accolades as a performer, as a singer, as a writer. But right now, I want to focus on something that you are not as well known for yet, and that is being a humanitarian, a philanthropist, and a mentor. And just real briefly, I'll tell you all a quick story about when I met Q. So probably about 10 years ago, I was living in DC and I was working with an organization called Sound Exchange and running the industry relations team.
Sound Exchange, all these artists in here, right?
Paying artists, that's right. And so we met at that time, but we connected because of the kind of people that we are, right? The kind of person that he is. So I want you to tell the people a little bit about your journey and how you got here specifically working on a project like this, because the pressures that you have as a celebrity, a singer, a multi-platinum Grammy-winning artist are immense. And it can pull you away from the other things that I know are really important in your life. Can you talk about how you're able to manage both worlds?
Well, first of all, let me just say thank you to Brian and the entire Pandora Sirius XM staff for just opening your doors for myself, my team, so that we can introduce the Bridge Project to the world, to Atlanta, and to our community. So again, thank you. Let's give a round of applause, guys, for Pandora. How did I get here? Well, I'm a native Atlantan. Any native Atlantans in the building? So when Brian was mentioning all of the accolades and all of those things, there's no way that I get to those levels without the community. There were a lot of people that extended their hands to me, a lot of people that invested in me. I can remember growing up being in the Atlanta Boy Choir and needing money to go on my first overseas tour. And my parents didn't have the money. And it was my elementary school and my community who all chipped in to give just so that a 10-year-old can experience life overseas. And so I saw at age 10 years old how the impact of somebody giving, somebody reaching back, how it could really affect a young man. And so as I have gone throughout this industry and have achieved so many things, the question I asked myself a few years ago was, Q, what are you going to do with the level of influence that you have? How are you going to make the next generation better? How are you going to alley-oop the next young man to not fall into some of the pitfalls and the pit holes that I encountered? And it was a really, really simple answer. It's not an option. This is mandatory. If I believe in community and if I believe in the journey that men should take, it's not an option. It is my duty. It is my responsibility as a man to prepare the next generation and to even be there in support of my brothers. Because going through this industry, it is what you guys see is the end result. Nobody ever gets to see the lonely nights. Nobody ever gets to see the second guessing if you're still relevant. You know, today, everybody loving you. Tomorrow, you're just old news. And so mentally, it takes a toll on you. And so nobody knows what they really, really feel like as a man, like a man. And so I don't get to this place without the security in knowing that I had brothers that I could lean on who not only loved me, but they understood the struggles. They understood the journey. And so this bridge project is just simply that. This was birthed from the Q Parker journey, the journey of maturing, the journey of falling but figuring it out, the journey of messing up, the journey of making mistakes and deciding that, you know what, I'm better than this. God created me to be a king. God created me to be excellent, to walk in excellence. And if I'm not doing that, I'm disappointing the man above. And not only do I need to connect with it, but I need to do all that I can to ensure that my other brothers get it. Because it's no fun if I'm riding in the car by myself. And so this is how we get here. And so I called on all the friends that I knew, and I said, hey, man, I want y'all to commit with me this project of brotherhood and this project of unity. And here we are with the Bridge Project 2 years later.
That's incredible. Y'all give it up. That's amazing, right? So even before like the Bridge Project came about, you had set up the Q Parker Legacy Foundation and Brothers United. So can you talk a little bit, because that sounds really like the first manifestation of this realization.
7 years ago, I went through, man, the most trying time in my life. And I got to give a shout out to my queen that's sitting right here, Charlinda Parker.
Yes.
And I also want to give a shout out to my son. He's in the building somewhere. My daughter is over here, Khadijah. My family, Sabrina's here. Going through that season, I really had to challenge myself. And, you know, it's tough being a man in this industry who is labeled the sex symbol, and you gotta do this, and you gotta look a certain way, and you gotta walk a certain way, and you gotta talk a certain way. And so I honestly lived it. I really believed that I was that. And so my level of commitment was 1 foot in and 1 foot out. And so when I'm at home, yeah, I can wear every element of being husband and father. But the moment I stepped out that door, I was back to Q, the sex symbol, Q, this entertaining guy, this guy who was just, in my mind, God's gift. And so because of that, man, it really put a strain on my wife and I. And I know that transparency is the first step of healing. So I can sit right here in front of y'all and tell y'all that, yeah, I messed up. Yeah, there was some infidelity. Yeah, there was some lying. There was all that stuff. But the beauty of all of that is I had a strong woman. I had strong children who was patient enough to allow me to grow into the man that I was called to be. And the one thing I always remember my wife saying to me, she said, yo, I love the man that's inside of you. If we could just get to that man, then we're going to be all right. And so I had to, it challenged me. It challenged me. And during that season, and I'm telling y'all, when you're on a road of recovery from infidelity, it's tough because you got to rebuild trust. And so that journey was tough, and there were moments when I felt like I was just on an island by myself. Nobody understands this. I was too embarrassed to talk to my colleagues and my peers because, yo, you Q Parker. And then will they really be honest enough to tell me, like, yo, man, you're not on an island by yourself. I've been there before, and, yo, I got you. This is how we're going to get through that. I didn't have that. And so I said to myself, if I'm in the industry and I've experienced this, I know there are men that are either in the industry and outside the industry, just the struggles of being a man. I know somebody can identify with this. And that was the start of Brothers United of Atlanta, creating a safe space where men can just get all of this stuff off of us, man, release all this pressure, have an open space of security so that we can talk, we can lean on each other, we can love on each other, we can encourage and motivate each other. And so Brothers United was formed. And then from Brothers United came Sisters United, because my wife had a side to tell as well. And so Sisters United was created, safe haven for women to come and be the rock for each other. The Youth United of Atlanta is our summer camp, because the goal of the Q Parker Legacy Foundation was to impact every aspect of the family, because during that season, my immaturity affected every level of my own family. And so this is why the Q Parker Legacy Foundation is important to me, because men, women, children, and the senior citizens are going to benefit from what we do and the work that we do throughout the calendar year at the Q Parker Legacy Foundation.
That's incredible. So we've got some more exciting stuff planned. We've got a number of other people who are going to come up and join us. But we've talked a little bit about sort of like the marrying of, you know, these two parts of your life. And then I want you to set up, because we've got a video that you've created. So if you wouldn't mind, I would love for you to set up this video, and then we'll go on to the next part of the program.
Absolutely. So 2 years ago, I had this idea that I needed to show and present to the community and to the world men that are united, men that are unified, and men that will agree to stand with me in making sure that we rehabilitate the minds of men and just start this whole cultural movement. And so 55 guys committed to this. And y'all, I'm so excited, because 2 years ago, we started this project. And I'm so happy that 55 guys representing the gospel industry and the urban R&B industry. This is something that's never been done before. Yeah, we've had We Are the World and Black Men United, but never has men of both of these genres bridged together to make this one common movement of unity. So I am excited to announce that this bridge project is coming. We're releasing the very first single tonight at midnight, so we need all y'all to go on your social platforms right now. Right. Download Made For, but I want you to pay attention to the screen.
Okay, cool. So let's step aside so that they can see the screen. And Jay, can you bring the lights down a little bit and play the video for us, please?
A bridge is a fixture built to mend a divide. And much like a bridge, men, brothers, are called to be the link between our broken spaces for the forward progression of our culture and community. And right now, like never before, we must fulfill this calling. We must unite in sight. And we invite you to take this journey with us as we build a bridge of brotherhood like never before. We are the answer. We are the voice. We are united. And we are the bridge.
All right. So I'm really excited to be able to, to participate in this project. When Q first came in and told me about it, I'm like, brother, what do you need? I'm ready to. What do I got to do to help you? So, I'm really excited that you're here and you've brought in a number of other people who participated in the project. And as he mentioned, the first track is released tonight. We also have, for everybody, we've got some Pandora Premium gift cards. So if you find someone from Pandora folks, raise your hand who got cards. There's a few of them around. Make sure you grab a card. Get a few months of Pandora Premium for free. And in order to move into the next, give it up. All right, yes. All right. So what I'm going to do now is so that they can go over and get the next phase of this going and introduce the other participants and some contributors to this awesome project. I'm going to turn it over to Satchel Jester, who is an influencing journalist, lifestyle curator, and has had top editing positions at Uptown Magazine and contributes to Essence, Black Enterprise, and others. Satchel, come to the stage, please.
How y'all doing? Everybody all right? Y'all sure? All right, so we're about to have a pretty interesting conversation, and we need your participation and feedback. Once again, my name is Satchel Jester, and I'm excited to be here to get the baton to continue this conversation about this project with my brother Q Parker and some other amazing young men in the building. Excuse me, coming through. So Q, let's keep it going. Let's bring the other gentleman up here. Yep, right there. First up, we have multi-platinum recording artist and CEO of Veltri Music Group, Mr. Bobby V. We have nationally syndicated radio host of the Willie Moore Jr. show, musician and adoption advocate, Mr. Willie Moore Jr. Singer, songwriter, producer, Stellar Award nominee, Jordan Armstrong. We have up-and-coming powerhouse vocalist, my buddy, Mr. J.K. Howells. And we have husband, father, and member of the Grammy Award-winning group Jagged Edge and philanthropist, Mr. Wingo.
You stand up. Let Wingo go right here. Is there another chair down there? Wing, you right here. You can just float.
So I can just stand
You
up.
can just float. Yeah.
Okay, that's how we're gonna do this. Thanks for.
Oh, you got one?
There we
Okay,
go.
bet.
There we go. All right. So to start the conversation, gentlemen, how many of you learned an appreciation for music or found that you had a special connection with music in the church?
Everybody. Yeah.
My dad actually is a pastor. Well, he was a pastor, and he had a church in Columbus, Georgia. So I grew up in the Methodist system. I'm not from Columbus, Georgia, but that's where his church was. So I always sang in the choir. Even when I didn't want to, I had to sing in the choir. Exactly. And, you know, my favorite days was the communion days, because after all the communion was left, I used to go murder the bread and the juice, the wine. It was real good. But the bread wasn't like the bread it is now. The bread then was kind of good. Now they just got the little cups with the little bread on the top, and you peel it back, and they give you the little swig of the little juice. Yeah, but that's where I grew up at.
So, and Wingo, you can grab this. So to that point, what were you told or what was instilled in you as it related to using your gift? Were you told that you needed to use it a certain way, that it will only return to you if you use it a certain way? What were you told?
Yeah, back then, excuse me. Yeah, the church was kind of traditional. I grew up in the Elizabeth Baptist Church on Martin Luther King. It's now on Cascade. Much love to Pastor Oliver and everything, but it was really traditional back then. So they kind of shunned upon, you know what I'm saying, you singing anything but the Lord's music. God wanted me to share my gift with the world, you know what I'm saying? And I sing about love. God is love. So at the end of the day, you can't compare. I mean, it can't compare.
So did you want to add to that, Jordan?
Really coming up for me, it was really kind of all I knew. I think by the time I became a teenager, I started to hear other music, and I started visiting cousins and aunts that weren't really in the church, and they was bumping Jodeci and Boys to Men, and I was like, what is this? You know, we don't play this at my house. And so that kind of really got my ear to go a whole nother direction. And immediately I felt like I was just in wrong for even enjoying the sound of that music. So I could definitely say I grew up real traditional, but when I went over to the family house, it was on.
Story.
Yeah.
Nice. So Q, this whole conversation, that whole notion is part of what prompted you to do this bridge project. I know that's a big part of your story and your journey in music. Talk about how that led you to this point, and also we're gonna play some music. So after you answer this, I think I wanna play Unstoppable, and you can talk about that.
Well, growing up I grew up Kojic, and so why is it every time when I say Kojic, somebody respond?
They on fire, on fire.
Oh, you can't join in.
Come on.
This is the church of God. Okay. Look. But yeah, I mean, church was all I knew. A lot of my foundation is John P. Key, the Winans Commission, Darrell Coley. But I even go further back than that, the Everettys and the Mighty Clouds of Joy, and like those were the only musicians that we could listen to in my house growing up. And I'm like Jordan down there. Like the moment I got a taste of, like, I think Smokey Robinson or something, I just loved the way the cadence was, the way that they just kind of laid back in the beat a little bit. Like the delivery was a little bit different than what I was accustomed to listening to in gospel. It's like the swag of R&B was just a little bit more in that thing was just right.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
And Commission did a great job of, blending the two worlds, but the moment I was introduced to Brian McKnight and the Isley Brothers and Boyz II Men and Jodeci, man, it was like I was hooked. And so to get a record deal, but having the foundation in the church, it really kind of threw my family, not just my immediate family, but my church family too, because they didn't really know how to respond. Like, no, your gift is you got to sing church music, you got to sing gospel music. And I always felt like, well, if God gave me this gift, I should be able to use it as long as I'm not really leading people to, detriment or anything like that. And it caused a real shift, not only in my church family, but my immediate family, to the point where we moved to New York to record our first album, and I basically rebelled. I rebelled against my parents, my church family, and I just rebelled against God because I just felt like, well, why is all of these people like coming down on me because my group and I got a record deal that's non-gospel. And I think that was the first stage of what I talked about earlier, moving to New York and now just opening myself up to all of what this world puts before you, simply because I kind of just turned my back, and I needed to really, really recommit and rededicate. So yeah, it was really strenuous in my house because I made the choice to sing R&B music as a career.
So we're gonna go to our first track, Unstoppable, with Bobby V and Molly Music. Talk a little bit about the message in that song.
Well, Unstoppable. So let me go back a little bit. The titles of every one of these songs is really purpose, right? And I want to give a shout out to Jay Morris, Jamal, and Joy Warren in the back of the room. They were the songwriters to write with me the record Unstoppable. And the mission behind this movement is when a man, or even women, when you hear these songs, I want you to be encouraged. I want you to be motivated. I want you to understand that if I just put forth the effort, if I adapt a certain winning mentality, that I can do whatever I'm called to do. And that's really the ultimate goal. And so creating the song, I knew what I wanted the song to sound like, but trying to identify, okay, who would be the two artists that represents both of these worlds that can blend together and sonically make this happen the way that it needed to happen. And when we did the demo, I never forget Jay Morris, man, incredible vocalist. He channeled Molly music. And when I tell you, when Molly heard it, it was absolutely amazing. And then I wanted to counter Molly with somebody that was total opposite. And that's when I knew, like, the beauty is in abstract. There's beauty when two opposites, what you don't even think could sound great, when they blend together. And so Molly was totally different from Bobby. Bobby is very sultry and very smooth, and like his delivery is just that. He the wee. That's him. And so, you know, bringing these two guys together was absolutely amazing. And the beauty about making these type of pairings is to see these two guys complement each other. Never met before, but have created, who knows, long-lasting relationships and brotherhood friendships simply because of blending and being a part of this project. So to see me in the studio in California recording Molly music and then FaceTime and Bobby V, and they just exchanging, yo, bro, you killed that. Nah, bro, you killed that. Like, man, who knows what comes out of that, all because you said yes, man. So, Bobby, you talk a little bit, man, about what it was like recording Unstoppable and just recording with Molly.
Oh, man, the record was amazing. First of all, the record was very high, like a high tenor. You know what I'm saying? And I sing high, you know what I'm saying? But when you in the studio, like one of my records, Turn the Page, it kind of remind me of Turn the Page because it was that high. And I really had to sing. A lot of records that I may put out or do is kind of easy, but recording this record was definitely a challenge. And it was a lot of fun because I got a chance to challenge myself vocally. And, you know, Q was in the studio with me, and he just was like, nah, man, do that one more time. Like, I think you can go a little bit higher than that. I was like, oh, I don't know how much higher I can go. Man, you can do it, man. I heard you on the wee part, man. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? So hit it higher, man. Go higher. So, you know, it was a lot of fun, just challenging myself. The message of the song was amazing, and the message is just being unstoppable. Regardless of what challenges you have or what you're faced with, it's definitely a message that I know everybody can relate to. You know, we all have ups and downs in life, the good, the bad, and it's a lot of times that we want to give up on ourselves. But, you know, this record right here is just saying be unstoppable, believe in yourself, and don't give up. So I love the message, and I love the record, and Q Parker for mayor, man. As well as pastor, because he got the pastor top on today, you know what I'm saying? So this is the perfect album for the pastor top, you know what I'm saying? I told him to give me that because he only gonna wear it one time, so if y'all see me with it too, don't hate on me. I'm gonna get it altered. It's gonna fit me.
All right, let's listen to Unstoppable.
We might need to change singles. Whatever the single is, that one might need to be it. You hear me? Woo! God damn. That's my first time hearing it too. You hear me?
What y'all think? What y'all think? What y'all think? Bob, hey Bob, cry for real, man, cry for real. Okay, got you. I got you.
Internally. Y'all like Unstoppable? Absolutely. So next question, Willie Moore Jr. and JK. Talk about a specific time that you realized your faith and the favor that came as a result of your talent could coexist at the same time.
So I'll tell a quick story. It's really quick. So my 8th birthday, I have an aunt that's super amazing. She got me tickets to see this quartet singing. I'm from South Mississippi, so anybody know what singings are? I see some country folks like me who know what I'm talking about. But yeah, it was Keith Wonderboy Johnson. Have y'all heard of him? Lee Williams and the Spiritual QCs, and the Canton Spirituals. So this was 1998, and Keith Wonderboy had a song. I was 8 years old. I'm still in my 20s, hello. Cool. It was 1998, Keith Wonderboy Johnson had a song called Hide Behind the Mountain. Some of y'all might know it. So he's singing the song, and he says, is there anybody out here who knows the hook of this song? And I'm already at the stage, ready to sing with Keith. So he gives me the mic, and I started singing, and that was the most free I had ever felt in my entire life. I didn't know what I was going to be singing or where I was going to be singing it, but I knew I was going to be on somebody's stage. So that was my ta-da, this is it moment. And I knew then that regardless of what I did, God had my back, because it wasn't supposed to happen.
Oh, that's good. Show some love for that. Great story, right? Yeah. What was the question again? Like when I knew I was favored?
When did you know that your faith and the favor, just that your gifts open for you, could coexist in the world?
Yeah, you know, it was really, really tough for me because I had like an R&B background. So I literally went from being in the club singing Lay Your Body Down as a guy named Pretty Willie to going to church in Los Angeles and then like literally like getting saved because I was just smoking too much and I knew that was against what my mama would want me to do. I remember just telling them at like 3 a.m. like, hey, we gonna have to start going to church or something. And we started going to church, and literally I got more than I bargained for. Like, I listened to everybody with these amazing gospel stories, but like I was from the neighborhood, so I didn't really grow up. I grew up in church, but it was something that we just did on Sunday. Like, so the culture wasn't really in Berkeley, Missouri. Like, we just looked up to like Willie D and the Ghetto Boys. Like, you know what I'm saying? NWA, like that's what we were on. So church was something that I thought I had to be a part of once I was perfect. Like, it was like the biggest bamboozle ever, because now I know that perfect people don't go to heaven, forgiving people do. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, so they never told me, though. Like, they never told me, so I chose to go out and do something uniquely different. And I remember calling my mom, telling her to stop praying for me because it was like Jesus was stalking me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to talk to girls late night, and they just like, it's something different about you. I was like, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. I was hoping it would be something different about you. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, for real. I like will always get the girl who see me calling on my life. Like, and so I called mama, like, stop praying. And so I remember I'm signed to Warner Brother Records at the time. Me and a dude by the name of Daryl Babs, AKA Tank, we got a record called Sex in the Daytime. And that thing about to blow up. And I literally go on the balcony and I said, God, like, if this ain't what you want me to do, like, let me know, because I very much still felt empty. And about 2 weeks later, song about to blow up, Naeem Ali calls and says, we're moving in a new direction, but you can have all the money out of your fund. So my R&B career went from there. I moved back to St. Louis, started this movement called Young, Fly, and Save, lost everything, and then God started favoring me in areas after 3 years of losing everything. And so I'm just so grateful. I just wanted to know, like, could there be something else that I could do? Like, could I do something else besides, like, hunch on the floor? Like, I was ratchet, you know what I mean? And so I realized that once I started doing video blogs, millions of people started watching, then I was able to do radio, and God is just opening up supernatural doors. I'm in awe. Like, every time I get a chance to be on stage, like, y'all was my idols. Like, I grew up listening to you. We grew up listening to y'all. Like, y'all was my heroes, you know? So, yeah. But we've been favored now, man, to be able to do gospel and not be so traditional and just be who we are and just show people that God ain't mad at us. It's just every day is favor for me, bro.
Wow. Amazing story. So that'll lead us into our next 2 tracks that we're going to play from the project. I would like to say, for those in the back, if y'all could hold it down just a bit and become a part of this conversation so we can talk about what y'all talking about. All right? All right? I can't hear y'all now.
Come on, somebody.
Okay, so our next 2 tracks, we have Rescue Me, which is Q Parker and Todd Dulaney. And then we have I Win, which is Willie Moore Jr., Omari Hardwick, Pastor Jamal Bryant, Alec Walls, and Stokely. So we're gonna go right from Rescue Me to I Win. All right?
That's so big.
That's huge.
I'm on the song with Ghost. You did your good singing on there, didn't you?
Yo, you got Todd Dulaney on the joint, you know. Let me say a quick thing about the song Rescue Me, and the reason why that song is just so important to me. Because had it not been for brothers that I was able to call on, and had I not been able to tap into guys who said, hey, man, I got you, little bro, or let me help you navigate through this, I don't know where I would be. And so because they were there for me, I turn that into saying that they rescued me. Because they were able to navigate their journey, it saved me from going through some stuff that I may have gone through. And so when we talk about this Bridge Project movement, which is what it is, this is so necessary, and this is a global movement that we decide to unveil this thing in from three angles. We have the sonic body of work, which is what we're listening to now. We have a documentary that we're filming, but then also we're taking the songs from the album and made them the soundtrack to the feature film, which is called Rescue Me. And so I want to give a shout out to my brothers right here, Ty Mans and Bishop Charles Mackey, Mans Mackey Studios. They're my partners in creating the film Rescue Me. Stand up, guys. Absolutely, yes. And so we'll start filming the movie end of spring. So we're really excited about that. And the story of Rescue Me is just a story of resilience, triumph. We coin it, you see my fame, my failure, and now my faith.
Nice. So lead us into I Win on the tail of that.
So I Win is a record that it's the mindset that men must have every day. There are so many obstacles that await us the moment we open our eyes and plant our feet on the ground, which is why we should meditate and have some moments with God before we actually even get out of the bed. And so the moment we get our day going, we have to have the mindset of a winner's mentality. I love the line in the hook that says, I win, I win, I win, no L's, no losses for me. I keep winning like I got 6 rings. That's the mindset. So no matter what obstacles come in front of before you win, the objective is to have the mindset of I'm going to win regardless. So here's the song I Win. It features my brother, the Willie Moore Jr., Omari Hardwick, Pastor Jamal Bryant, Paco Walls from the Walls Group, and Stokely from Mint Condition.
Nice, nice, nice. Willie Moore, what's one takeaway out of that song you want to make sure that everybody has?
You know, sometimes we don't have the position that we want, and so we start compromising. So in that song, I literally said, maybe you don't have an identity, right? Like, there's an identity that we choose to take on, and then there's an identity that was designed for you. And so a lot of people, we get stuck in one season of our life and we never move to the identity that the Lord truly wants us to be in, or whatever you believe in, universe, higher power. I just choose to believe in Jesus Christ, right? Like, but I love who, whatever you do. So in that, I said, I gave you an identity that you are the head and not the tail, right? You may have found yourself in a tail end of a situation, but just know that from the bottom, if you serve, you can be the head. I said that you were above and not beneath. You may find yourself beneath a lot of people trying to come up or what have you, but at the end of the day, you just need to know that that's where you're supposed to be. So even as a janitor, if you know you're the CEO, you come in as a janitor working like a CEO, right? Like, you just have to know where you are. I see Derek Harper in the back. Like, he was the program director. Shout out to him. He's seen my greatness, right? And I was like so thankful, but I didn't see it. I didn't see what he saw because I was broke. Like, I didn't see what he saw because I had a baby mama who needed what she needed at the time. Like, it was tough. But I had to believe what he saw until I could believe it for myself. And so that's what I was telling you. In my identity, some people see greatness in you, but you choose not to see it. But I just believe what that man seen. I served the way he told me to serve. And he told me one day I would have a syndicated radio show, and I do now because of what he saw, and I believed it. And so even tonight, Atlanta's a big house of dreams. Maybe we give you an identity to know, fellas, that you are the head and not the tail, that you are above and not beneath, that God is for you and not against you, that he's not mad at you, he's actually mad about you, right? And he's not pointing at you this way, he's pointing at you like this way. My life ain't been the same, flat out.
Well said. Q, a minute ago you said that one thing that stands out to you is that you were able to call your brothers at certain moments and say, I need your help, and they would say, what do you need, little bro, that kind of thing. One of the overarching messages of this project speaks to just supporting each other as a brotherhood collectively to change some of the trajectories that can happen among us if we don't put our hands on emotional things, if we don't get a handle on some of the things that we don't typically know how to deal with. For everybody up here, there's already a sense of responsibility that comes with your profile or celebrity. But what does it mean to you to have another sense of responsibility with this project, being more intentional about relationships among brothers?
You know, I always just say that brotherhood is not an option. It is what we are required to do. And I believe that when we do it the right way, and in order for us to get to the right way, we gotta know how to love each other. We gotta know how to affirm each other as men. We gotta know how to just say, hey man, I love you, and I rock with you. We gotta learn how to say, yo, whenever you need me, regardless of what the ask is, I got you. And this project was living proof of that, because every one of these gentlemen that I called, they said exactly that. Yo, I got you. So this part for me is very important. And I just hope that my prayer and my wish for this project is that it resonates to men all over the world, so that they too will sign up for what real brotherhood is. You know, we always say that, you know, I am my brother's keeper, but what really is that? It's just what we just talked about. It's being there. It's saying yes. Because at the end of the day, when men align in the way that God created us, everybody benefits. And so the moment we are able to operate at optimum level, man, our children are going to be better, the women are going to be better, and this world is going to be better. So we're living in brotherhood right here.
Can anybody add to that?
I think I'll jump in on this one because I pick on him all the time because he's annoyingly loving, like to the point to where you will wake up at 6:30 in the morning, it'll be a full paragraph of Q telling you how awesome you are. And a lot of times those texts come at moments when you don't feel so awesome. And the best thing about Q is that I met him as his understudy, and he told me, I think like the third day of rehearsal, you're my little brother, and I'm not going to let you go, and I'm going to make sure everybody knows about you. And that was 5 years ago, and he has not stopped bothering me. I love him. So like what he's saying about the record isn't just like lyrics. Like he's a living proof of it. So the fact that it's manifesting only makes sense because he's really living it. So I appreciate him. I love him for that.
Jordan?
I was gonna say too, when I heard about what Q was doing, he called me and asked me to be a part. I didn't know exactly what we were going into. I heard the idea. I was like, oh, it's a guy's project, man, and yeah. And I think things really snapped for me whenever I got to the studio and he played songs for me, and I was totally inspired. And I think that a lot of times this project is so important for men, period. And of course it starts with men, but it goes out to the world, to everyone else. But to men, for men to come together, like, it's so huge, especially in this day and time. And you know, it inspired me so much because, you know, men have, you know, you got your set of best friends. Let's say it's only 3 guys. Them your 3 dogs. That's it. All the rest of y'all, we got to think too. No new friends. Yeah, like that. That's just how we get down. So that's my dog. That's gonna be my dog forever, and that's it. And we just kind of stay there. And I think that with projects like this, man, it just shows how we should, you know, step out to make this a brotherhood community almost in our culture, in everything that we do. So I was inspired. I mean, I started hitting up friends of mine that I hadn't talked to in years, just tell them I love them, and, you know, just tell them I'm here for them, man. And I just felt the unity and the unity in the air. So Q, I thank you, man, for doing this. This is huge. Y'all give it up, because I don't think anybody else could have pulled it off but you, because you brought us all together, man. Like, what? Who else could have done this? Come on. So shout out to you, man. So I love you, man. Thank you for this.
So Jordan just mentioned like friendships and how important those are. So we're like Bobby and Wingo and Q. So a minute ago, Bob, you said that was your first time hearing the song, like While You Sit Here. I know that's almost unheard of, to record a song, not hear it, show up to an event where they're playing it for the room, and then you hear it along with everybody else. It's a trust factor there that has to be solid for you to let that happen. Also, Wingo, backstage at City Winery a few weeks ago, y'all were running through the set list, and I think somebody added a song, and Q was like, Wingo, you take it. And he was like, all right. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't a back and forth. Talk about, and especially because the three of you is R&B royalty for Atlanta. I mean, you all are a part of the tapestry of what's been embroidered here. So talk about what that relationship still means to have come into this together and then still here decades later to have that type of trust for each other, that type of relationship, that openness to add to each other's, dreams and passion.
I mean, for me, Q and our relationship, long time ago, man, I seen these guys at a talent show, Westlake High School, Forte, that was the name of the group. And I wasn't even in Jagged Edge wasn't even heard about yet. I was in a group called Fort Shades Deep Tri-Cities High School, and I seen them, and I was, we were on the talent show. They were special guests. Man, they blew them people away. And I'm just, I'm a fan of talent, and so one of my partners, Courtney Seals and Kevin Wells, they were talking, Courtney was talking about he wanted to start managing and all this. He had us around Dallas, Austin, Boys and Men, all those guys. And I just told Courtney, I was like, man, I seen these guys last night, man. They are incredible, man. Like, bro, we gotta. And so one of the guys in my group named Dale Phillips, he knew, I think, Q or whatnot. So we linked up. And, Kevin and Courtney linked up with Q and them. And that's how 112 was created. But it's like, at the end of the day, we've been partners, like, they tried to put me in 112. It would have been 5 members, but at the end of the day, they, I understand the money thing back then. Hey, we yeah. But I just think God showed me favor, just because I could have been like, man, no, I want a deal, I want this, but it wasn't really about that with me. It was just about being able, just wanting to sing. I don't care with who. I sung in 3 choirs. I sung with Atlanta Chapter, Young Voices Elizabeth, Tri-City Gospel Choir. I mean, like, I just wanted to sing, man. And when me and Q linked up, man, when he bought his first house, he asked me to come and stay with him. I was like, all right, can't wait. So, and the relationship just worked because, he was on the road a lot. I was home. Once I got put in Jagged Edge or whatever, it just worked again. And we just been friends, like, since day one. And I'm just one of those guys, like, it's not about, it's like, still, if you know me, if you know Richard Wingo, like, I still, till this day, 20 years later, I still don't think that I have a record deal. Like, it's to me, because I'm singing. I don't care about all that. Like, I just want to sing. I don't, on whatever platform. I'm going to sing about love. I'm going to sing about God. You know what I mean? Again, God is love. But at the end of the day, it's like, I just want to sing, man. I want to share my talent. I want to, if I'm in a choir, I don't care. I'll be on the second row. You know what I mean? I was a first row tenor, but but I'll be on the second row, whatever. But like I said, if you know me, at the end of the day, I just want to sing. And, like I said, me and Q have established a relationship over the years. And, it's just been a wonderful ride, man. And he's a good guy, man. He's a blessing to me and my family. Bobby V, man, this is our little brother right here. This is home team. Like, you already know, what I'm saying? We got his back 100,000. And at the end of the day, man, the camaraderie is just, that's what it's about. That's what it's supposed to be. It's, I mean, once we get on stage,
Thank you.
In the whole secular world and all that, and even in the gospel world, I mean, they started choir competitions years back, you know what I mean, or whatever. Once you get on stage, you know what I mean, it's about business. But once you come on stage, man, it's all love, you know what I mean? Everybody wants to be number 1, you know what I mean? But it has to be number 2 or number 3 or number 4, and I don't mind either one of those, because at the end of the day, I'm still serving, I'm still sending my gift throughout the world. I'm on a platform of millions and millions of people, and if you don't tell them something good, then guess what? You're wasting your time. You're wasting your platform, man.
Bob, anything to add?
I mean, he pretty much summed that all up. People say they grew up listening to me. I grew up listening to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got a lot of my writing style from Jagged, a lot of performance etiquette from 112, because they're dope for performers. So, for me to be able to form a friendship with these guys and be able to do shows with them. When I first came out, I was doing a lot of shows with 112 and Jagged Edge. We were overseas doing shows. And it's just like, when you seeing the guys, or you growing up listening to their music, like I was in college, and I remember Jagged, I went to Clark Atlanta University, And I remember y'all would come to the school or ride through, and all the girls would go crazy. You know what I'm saying? And I'd be like, man, y'all don't need to come to the school no more, cause all the girls is chasing y'all car. You know what I mean? But it was definitely a blessing, and I'm just thankful to have these guys as brothers, man. And you know, really, like they said, man, only Q could have done this, because you can call guys all the time. Yeah, I got you, shouted. Yeah, I'm going to do the song with you. Here's my number. Get their number. You see him again. Man, I got a new phone. Hey, well, put my number in your phone right now. You go to his phone, put the number in there. Oh, it's right there, right there. There go the number. Man, I thought I had a new phone. Your number in there, though. We cool. So let's do the song then. I bet. Hit me tomorrow, 4 o'clock. I bet I'm gonna hit you at 4. I hit him at 3:59. He ain't gonna even pick up. But only Q could make him pick up, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's a blessing to really just be a part of this project, man. It's bringing gospel and R&B, and you know we're all really in it together. I mean, just because we sing R&B music about love, like Wingo said, God is love. So I'm happy to be a part of it.
Nice. And I think, speaking of love, little known fact, didn't Wingo introduce Shar and Q? Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's, when I tell y'all, man, this guy right here, this one right here, man, yeah.
So that leads
Yes.
perfectly into the next song, My Brother's Keeper, featuring Jonathan McReynolds and Music Soul Child.
Make some noise for that one. New music.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, this project, the single drops tonight at midnight, so please support this and download this. Before we end this on a high note with a special performance, I just want all you gentlemen to tell everybody where they can find you, how they can stay connected. Q, please give all the vitals for the Official Bridge Project, and we'll just go down the line to make sure we can stay in touch with everybody.
Official Bridge Project. I need y'all to go right now, follow all of that, man. Everything Bridge Project, Official Bridge Project. And whatever phone you have, at midnight, you can have the record, which is the first single, Made For. Made For features Dietrich Haddon, Eric Dawkins, and Avery Wilson. And so you can go on your phone right now, pre-order, and at midnight you will have it. Absolutely amazing record.
What's up, y'all? Y'all can follow me, Wingo_ATL. What else? Official_JE. Coming to a city near you. I want to come to a Jagged show, man. If y'all in the city, anywhere we are, man, look me up, man. Real talk. Love y'all.
Y'all make sure y'all follow me at Bobby V Show, at Bobby V Show. And check this out. I have a show February 9th at the City Winery. It's a few tickets left. You ain't gonna be in the front, but you gonna get to see me. But there's some tickets left. They in the back. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna tell everybody to come to the front anyway. So please, citywinery.com. February 9th, my brothers is gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? They gonna have to do a song or two. I'm telling them now, Official Bridge style. I'm calling on them. You hear me?
Right now.
Willie Moore gonna have to do a testimonial. You hear me? And lay hands on a brother, because I need them hands laid on me. You hear me? At Bobby V Show, Facebook, which is my Facebook popping. I got about 1.5 million on my Facebook. My Instagram about 250. You know what I mean? But it's cool. We working. Facebook, Bobby V Music. And yeah, I gotta use the bathroom bad.
Man, y'all make some noise for Bobby V, man. Like, hey, make sure that you go. So real quick, if you don't mind, can you follow me at Willie Moore Jr. Live? Willie Moore JRLIVE. Willie Moore Jr. Live. And do me a favor too. Make sure you tune into the radio show. I know sometimes when you think like gospel music, you automatically think I don't want to be reminded of what I'm not doing, right?
But we've put a very unique spin. Shout out to my brother Big Man, the producer, Crystal Lee. We got a really dope cast of people, and we're really just representing gospel music and the kingdom in a very cool way for those people who feel like, you know, some days in Atlanta it gets tough, especially when you're attempting to get to your dream. Click into Praise 102.5. If you're across the country, we're in 27 markets. We touch about 1.7 million people weekly, so make sure that you tune in. And follow me at Willie Moore Jr. Live so you can see my really cool family. Please. They tight. They cooler than me. They cooler than me. Shout out to my son, too. My son is here, my 11-year-old, Peyton Moore Jr. He's an artist, too, so we taking donations right afterwards because we're going to have him dance a little bit. We're going to do the collection. Praise God.
Yeah. Y'all give it up for Willie Moore one more time. He not lying about that radio show. It's really dope. So if you ain't heard it, go listen to it. My name is Jordan Armstrong. Make sure you follow me at Where's Jordan. That's WHERES_Jordan. And I'm working on some new music, so y'all be on the lookout for that this year. It's gonna be really great. Again, thank you, Q. Thank you, everybody else too that was on the song that I was on. But I love this. So thank y'all so much. Oh, and shout out to my wife. She ain't here, but shout out to my wife. All right. Go ahead.
Shout out to Charlinda, everybody.
See, I like this whole brotherhood thing. Shout out to my wife, too, because I feel like I might get in trouble if I'm the only person who didn't shout out his wife.
Shout out my wife.
She gonna see it. She gonna see it.
Yeah. Yeah, my name is J.K. Howells. Make sure y'all follow me at
Oh, my God. R&B Bobby.
Follow him at rnbbobby.com.
Go ahead.
And after you find Bobby, whoever it is that's looking for him, follow me at Sing J.K. Howells. It's SINGJKHOWELS. Appreciate you, Q. Thank you.
Indeed. Hold on 1 second, Q. I just want to take this moment to say, bro, thank you so much for this amazing opportunity. Like, thank you, bro. Nobody in the world could have done this but you, man. So thank you. We love you to life, bro. We cannot live this life without you and our text messages and calling us and challenging us to dominate. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Real talk, yeah.
And last but not least, y'all can follow me at What happened? Oh, my bad. You can follow me at Seen by Satchel, SCENEBYSATCHEL. We want to call Brian Calhoun and J1 up to the stage so we can get a shot. Ladies and gentlemen, please keep your seats. Thank yous. Very important. Not thank yous, but very important. Thanks to Pandora for hosting us. The E1 Nashville team. Shout out from Pandora. Shout out to Brian, J1, and Robin Gordon. To the E1 Nashville team, Ebony Funderburk.
Ebony Funderburk.
Sorry. I was just reading. I'm sorry, Ebony. Thank you to 2 Nail Salon, Charlinda and Sabrina. Thank you to the Whitley Agency, Michael and Dora Whitley. Woo! Matt Abels, Sharika Donaldson with CD Events, Hotlanta Signs, Righteous Wings, Moscato Life, SNS Cakes and More, that's Zandra, Prima Atlanta, Liquid Soul, Levi's Hospitality, Mika Wilson, Dora's still sending them to me, Omega George, Gina Miller, and once again, E1 of Nashville. Did I get everybody?
E1.
So
Shout out to the lady with the juice back there. The juice was real good. It was non-alcoholic, and I appreciate it.
Jesus juice. Jesus.
Y'all don't want to see me on the liquor.
Yep. So if Brian and J1 can join us, gentlemen, let's get a photo. And next you will hear Q Parker and J.K. Howells.
Q Parker and friends.
Made for.
Q Parker. Let me get out the way. They about to sing real high. I ain't got no